Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to continue Samson's story. Now, we're reading out of the Action Bible. I'll see if you read the KJV Bible, you'll get like a lot more details and things like this, but this is still based off that, so it's just more for like children, things like that. But these are going to be the pictures that we're going to be reading on this first part. Now, if you remember, Samson finds a Philistine girl that he wants to marry, which it hasn't revealed this, and I don't know if it will yet at all in this part. But one of the things Samson could not do, I can remember if it's been a long time since I read his story, but I can't remember if it was he couldn't be with anybody for a period of time. Like he couldn't have love because God had bigger plans for him than that, or if he just couldn't be with a Philistine woman. But I'm pretty sure it was just he couldn't be with anybody. He just had to be Samson just had to be completely pure. Like he couldn't have any type of alcohol or basically fermented wine. He couldn't be with anybody. He couldn't cut his hair. There were certain things he couldn't do, and that would help him keep his strength. And then obviously he was like how Jesus, like I said before, how Jesus was sent here to save the world. He was sent there to save Israel, and there was a big they were big enemies with the Philistines and all that. So we're gonna go and get into this. God tries to teach Samson a lesson in today's story, so let's go ahead and continue this. On his way to visit his fiancée, Samson is suddenly attacked by a lion. At the moment, the Spirit of the Lord gives Samson great power and rips the lion apart with his bare hands. Now you get this. Even just look at the size difference on the book of Samson and this lion. So Samson's probably, normal man, probably, exceptional weight, probably like 160 pounds, probably like 5'10" or something like that. And you got this lion that is like 500 pounds, and they have an unimaginable strength, huge fangs, powerful jaws, all that. It would crush a normal man within an instant, like an ant. And God gives Samson the power to ragdoll this lion around and rip it apart like it was nothing. God has, I said that he had the strength of 100 men. So if you had 100 men put together, the power and the strength that you would have would be incredible. God does this though to teach, to help Samson learn, to teach him a lesson. The Lord has given me great strength. Nobody better mess with me now. See, he kind of gets, also Samson kind of gets, a little cocky and things like that as well, because, he knows God's on his side and things like that, and he thinks that he's always getting this brute strength. And we're going to learn a lot, about some of the things that are getting ready to happen. Finally, the time for the wedding comes. Samson walks by the spot of his battle with the lion and sees its body still there. Bees have made honey in the lion's carcass, and he eats it. Samson scoops some of the honey and tastes it. It's good. I'm eating I'm eating food out of the animal that wanted to eat me for food. Then, also something Samson couldn't do was touch the dead. That was one of the things he could not do. In Timnah, several Philistines greet Samson. And before we continue, you may be wondering why God would allow this lion to attack Samson. It wasn't so Samson could just rip it apart, and it wasn't just coincidence. God was trying to show Samson that he couldn't do, he shouldn't never question God, because it gets more into detail about that. A lot of it is in questioning God, why he can't do certain things and stuff like that. And two, to show Samson that he is nothing without God. So he taught him a lesson. He taught him 2 lessons, that he's nothing without God. If it wasn't for God giving that strength, that lion would have torn him apart. And 2, you shouldn't ever question God. You should trust in what he tells you to do. And that was, something that Samson had to learn. I am the best man, and I have brought 29 of my friends to be your guests. He's like, thanks. Hey, I've got an idea. If any of you can guess my riddle, I'll give each of you a shirt and a nice robe. If each of you has to give me a shirt and a robe. So if they can't, they give him a robe, and if they can, then he's supposed to give him robes. At least one of us should be able to figure out this stupid Israelites riddle. It's a bet. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. You must guess the answer within 7 days of my wedding feast. So, out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. So, he got that from the honey and the bees that he found in the lion. But as the week goes by, neither the best man nor any of his friends can guess Samson's riddle. What will we do? I can't afford to give him a shirt and a robe. Neither can I. We'll have to get the answer from his bride. After all, she is a Philistine. We didn't come here to get robbed by your future husband. Get the answer from Samson, or we'll set fire to your father's house with you in it. She's like, I will. Just give me time. So now they go to his wife, and they're threatening her. They're threatening to kill his father and her, if she doesn't figure out what this riddle is. That evening, if I'm going to be your wife, we shouldn't have secrets. Tell me the answer to your riddle. Not even my father or my mother know the answer. Why should I tell you? But she cries every day, and on the last day of the feast, she says, You hate me. If you love me, you would tell me the answer. He said, Fine. The answer is a lion and honey. A few minutes later, she slips away. I have the answer. Tell us, and your life will be saved. At the feast, we've come to collect our wager. The answer to your riddle is a lion and honey. After all, what is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? We like our 30 robes, please. You cheated. My bride must have told you. I may have lost this bet, but your people will be the one to pay. So, this gets to be a very angry moment for Samson. He knew that they wouldn't be able to figure this out. Knowing that he just told his wife, and then all of a sudden they were able to figure out, he knows that his wife told him. But in doing so, Samson would go off, because he didn't have the robes. He would go off and kill Philistine men, and then take the robes off their dead corpse, which was against, one of the things he was not supposed to do. He cannot touch the dead, and he did it anyways. And not only, besides that, he killed innocent people. Samson is furious. He storms out of his own wedding feast and enters another city. Enough Philistines to pay my debt, and all of them so handsomely dressed too. With his great strength, Samson strikes down a group of enemy Philistines. He counts, 23, 24, 25. Still enraged, Samson returns to the wedding feast. Here, the debt is paid, and by the lives of your own countrymen. So we're going to stop here today. This is summing it up. Samson's story is a great story. I definitely recommend, and we might even get to that eventually, doing it out of the KJV more detail. But I also recommend watching the Samson movie. It's a great movie. I believe it's on Netflix, or it's a newer movie, and it really, tells a story. Samson, loved God, and he wanted to do for God, but he also didn't understand why he couldn't do certain things. And in doing so, it led, in getting married with her, it led to his, death, truthfully. But more great things would come after this, like King David and, Solomon and all, even Samuel and stuff like that, and all the great things they did. But we'll get to them eventually. So I thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something and enjoyed this video. And as always, take it easy. And hope you guys have a good week.